people out there. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you very much for lending me your time and your ear and listening to another thing that I have to say. Um, we're dealing with more rumors for Nintendo stuff. This time, talking about the rumor around Twilight Princess and having the amiibo locked dungeon, or possibly having the amiibo locked dungeon. Um, Firstly, I'm going to say it right out. I'm kind of indifferent about this. I mean, while I like the idea of having the amiibo locked dungeon and only being able to unlock it with the Wolflink Midna amiibo, at the same time, I also don't really care for the idea that it's locked behind it. So, for me, there has to be purpose to it being locked behind that Wolf Link amiibo. There has to be a specific reason that it is locked behind that. I'm not even going to say that they're taking content out of the game, because this is additional content being added onto a game that was already out. It's already available for people to be able to get, and they can still play it on their Wii U's, even though they wouldn't be playing it with the gamepad. They have to play it with the Wii Remote Nunchuck. So that's not the issue for me. It's not like this is needed content to finish the game. This is probably something that's just like a bonus that you can get on top of what's already there if you want to. Either way, I understand people not wanting to pay an additional $14 to be able to get it sold separately for those who can't necessarily get the bundled package that has the game and the amiibo. I understand that gripe. I'm not even against your reasoning. I understand why you have that issue. And I have that issue too. But at the same time, people keep saying they want more from amiibo. You want more to happen with amiibo. Well, unless everybody's going to sit down and give detailed structures on how they feel like amiibo should be worked, there's not much Nintendo has to go on. So, a whole dungeon, probably not even going to be a very big dungeon. Hell, it could literally be a Wolf Link only dungeon, and I remember distinctly hearing from so many people that they disliked having to play with Wolf Link. So, I mean, I didn't have a problem with it, but I remember hearing so many times, listening to different videos and things and reading different articles, and people had a problem with Wolf Link. This could literally be a Wolf Link only dungeon. It literally could be. And if that's the case, I don't think a whole lot of people will have much to be mad about. Another possibility is that this dungeon may be tied to a bonus for Zelda U when it comes out, probably later this year, more than likely later this year. So, it more than likely has something that you can earn for the next game, because I do distinctly remember hearing in the most recent Nintendo Direct that they talked about it. You can use the Wolf Link amiibo for the Legend of Zelda U. So it might have some connection to that. It may just open up some information that you just wouldn't find out otherwise if you didn't have it. It might not be anything of major significance, or it could just be something that just gives you a couple extra bonuses that you don't actually need in order to finish the game. If it's true. I mean, I'm of the mindset it probably is. I'm not going to BS, it probably is true, but we have no confirmation yet. So I'm not going to be jumping down anybody's throats or grabbing my pitchfork and my torch just yet, because there's no confirmation. And even if there was, at this point, it's not like I'm buying additional parts of the game to complete the story. The story itself is complete. I'm not buying additional parts of the game to actually finish the game. Like Fable. Like, not Fable. Fable 3. If anybody remembers playing Fable 3, I mean, I personally bought that game used, only paid $5 for it. So, once I got to that point, and it said you need DLC to basically finish the story, I'm like, well, I'm just not buying it. Whatever. That was it. So like that's basically it. I'm not going to necessarily get hung up on it. Now, if it was something shisty like, oh, we're going to cut off this portion of the game unless you have the wolf amiibo, you won't be able to play it. Or if it was some BS like you had to tap the wolf amiibo on the gamepad in order to transform, I could see that because that literally renders you useless throughout a great portion of the game because you can't play it. But I know it's definitely not something that stupid. That'd be, oh gosh, if Nintendo did something that stupid, I'd have to eat. If Nintendo did something that stupid with this game, I would eat a gigantic bowl of mashed potatoes on video to make myself sick. Not that I don't like mashed potatoes, but you eat too many of them, you start to feel, you feel heavy. You feel like a lead weight. That was my point. I mean, it's just one of those things. We're going to have to adjust to it, unfortunately. People want more out of Amiibo. They have to do something somewhere to give us reason to buy them. Outside of the people who just buy them just to have them because they probably don't own a Wii U or a 3DS. For those who do buy them and use them, there has to be a reason to use them. And unfortunately, that's how it goes. It's not something I am completely happy with because I still want my full-on Disney Xfinity type Amiibo game where I can build the world and I can use characters in a way that I want to use them, but that's something that, one, that's a video idea for another time, and that's something that would take a long time for Nintendo to do. And then on top of that, they probably have to make special Amiibo for that game. So there's never going to be a complete win-win with this. Not for everybody. That's just the bad thing about it. It's not something I'm exactly happy about, but I'm also looking forward to the possible things that Amiibo could be used for. So I can't really say much. I know it makes me like probably a hypocrite in this situation, but there's not much I can do about it. Because if I complain that I want Amiibo to do less, then I can't complain when they do less. But if I complain I want Amiibo to do more, I can't complain that I have to spend money to get Amiibo in order to use them to do something else in a game when I want them to do more. It's a really, really fine line to walk, and it's hard as hell to decide whether or not you are okay with it or not. It's really just one of those things where you just stuck. It's at an impasse because I want to see Amiibo do more. I don't want Amiibo to lock off the ability to complete a game, but I also don't want to have to pay $14 in order to get $13-14 in order to get some little trinket just to be able to say I got it. That's how my mind is set, but nothing I personally can do about it. So one way or the other, Nintendo's going to do what they're going to do. If it works for them, they're going to keep doing it. If it doesn't work for them, they're going to stop doing it. It's just how it is. So, I mean, really, that's basically about it. Now, if you've got like 30, 40 Amiibo and you're complaining about this, it would probably be better if you didn't. Because you've already shown you're going to keep buying them anyway. So this more than likely is not going to affect you. If it's someone who only has a select few Amiibo and they only buy certain ones for certain reasons, again, I can kind of understand, but more than likely you've probably already got this pre-ordered and are waiting for it. If you are really that interested in it. I mean, it's more than likely this situation is one of those things where you can live with it or live without it. It's probably not as big of an issue as a lot of people want it to be. So we've just got to see what it is first. We know even if this is true, we know literally nothing about the Wolf Amiibo dungeon whatsoever. We know nothing about it. We literally know nothing about it. Hell, it could be a dungeon that it's just a bunch of trials to see if you can complete it. It might just be something like that. Hell, I'm thinking about it. I haven't seen this many. I haven't heard of this many complaints about the Oracle games where you actually needed both of those games to actually get the full story. You needed both of those games to actually get the full ending. And then on top of that, there was the bonus. I think there was a bonus dungeon that was unlocked if you played it on a Game Boy Advance. I've I've never heard this many complaints, but then again, the internet wasn't as big back then, so gotta give that, gotta take note of that. But I don't remember anybody being mad that they had to get both of those games because, well, they were basically full games anyway, but you just couldn't get the very end of it unless you had both of them and you could share the passwords back and forth. Or you knew someone who finished up their half of the game and you can get their password and put it in. So, I mean, it's really just, it's one of those situations. I don't necessarily like it, but I'm also not totally against it because it's not like I'm being charged, $99 for some cards that I'm probably not going to really use too much in my game or to unlock legendary players, EA. But yeah, it is something that we, as gamers, and if you're a Nintendo fan, it's something that you have to pay attention to because you've got to call them on BS. And this is like one of those areas that's really fine line. It could be BS, and then it could not be. This is one of those things that people are going to be split on, no matter what it is. People are going to be split on it. So I think I've talked enough though. I mean, it's an issue that we've just got to figure out. And as fans of Nintendo, we've got to let them know when we have issue with things. And I understand people have an issue with the Wolf Link amiibo with the rumor, but let's wait for more information and see if it's actually worthy of getting mad over. I mean, I don't say don't question it. Question it, but you don't have to necessarily flip out and get angry over it because you disagree with it. I mean, part of me disagrees with it, and part of me agrees with it. It's one of those things. Again, that I've said that repeatedly. So I'm just going to shut up now because I've gone on long enough, and you're probably tired of hearing me talk about it anyway. So thank you guys very much for listening. Keep your eyes and ears out for more of my stuff, and until the next time, enjoy your games and peace out.